Hello everyone! I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate the support. In this one, I wanted to speak to you about superpowers and how I really truly believe that one of the superpowers that we have as an individual, as a human being or as a person on the path, whatever path you're on, if it's a spiritual path or if it's a growth path or if it's a make money path, whatever path you're on, I really truly believe that one of the superpowers that you have as an individual is self-awareness. Self-awareness. And I'm sure you've heard of this term before. I'm sure you've heard of the term awareness for sure. I don't know if you've heard them together, self and awareness together, but I really believe, as I've said many times in a lot of the videos I do, perhaps I'm repeating myself, but I really believe that when you are aware of yourself, when you are aware of your internal workings, when you are aware of what you like, what you don't like, what are your dislikes, what are your great loves, right? How do you deal with people? How don't you deal with people? What kind of people do you like? What kind of people don't you like? What kind of work do you like? What kind of work don't you like? How do you like to interact with people? How don't you like to interact with people? Right? There's hundreds of things that you need to figure out about yourself. And unfortunately, what happens is that because we don't ask these questions, it takes us eons to figure things out. Eons and eons. You know, we sit there and maybe at the age of 35, maybe at the age of 65, we finally realize, oh, really? I actually don't like herbal tea. Or, oh, I actually really love scrambled eggs, but I've never eaten them because I thought I hated them. You know, I'm giving you very inane examples, of course, to give you prove a point. But it's even worse than that. You know, at the age of 35, we suddenly realize, you know, actually, I really don't want to get married, but I am married. Or we realize, oh, I did not want kids, but I have kids. Or we realize I wanted to be a writer all my life, but I never even looked into the whole process because I was so afraid. Or things like that, you know, at the age of 65, at the age of 75, at the age of 85, you know, you're figuring out all of these things about yourself because you never asked the question, because you never bothered with the whole process of self-awareness. It's pretty much the same thing as self-knowledge, of course, but I like the word awareness a lot more than knowledge because awareness includes a little bit of dynamism with it. It includes a little bit of flow in it. I feel like knowledge is very static and awareness is very dynamic. It is evolving, constantly changing as you are, right? You never sit still. You're never exactly the same person as you were yesterday. You might have loved scrambled eggs yesterday, but today you despise them and you can't even stand them and you can't even look at them. And then tomorrow, you're like, yeah, I love them. I don't know why I hated them yesterday, right? That self-awareness will teach you, oh, right, maybe it's just because I had my period coming. Or maybe I'm hormonal. Or maybe I smelled something in the egg and it's gone rotten, right? But that kind of self-awareness is what results in a very flexible, dynamic life. Because you don't get rigid. You don't put yourself into these boxes, you know, and then you don't hide in those boxes because that's what I am. I am this, and that's it. I'm never going to be something else, right? So I love the idea of self-knowledge because it's brilliant. You need to know about yourself, but also again to realize that it's not a static thing. You need to be aware that you are a fluctuating being. You are a human being, and human beings are constantly changing, constantly moving, growing, evolving from moment to moment sometimes. You know, moment to moment I am a different person sometimes, I feel. And so I look at myself and I think to myself, I actually really loved this thing yesterday. What happened to me? Or I actually was really happy about this a few moments ago. How did I change so much all of a sudden? This happens a lot when I'm supposed to go out to a date or I'm supposed to go out, hang out with people or do socializing. All of a sudden, you know, I'm like, oh, but I really hate people and I don't want to socialize. Even though a few moments ago I might have been like, oh, cool, I get to go out soon, right? And so this kind of dynamism in self-awareness, this kind of movement, and this kind of evolving nature of it, this kind of awareness of the fluctuations and the modulations and the movements of you on the inside is what is required to live in the world in the most mature and healthy way possible, right? Because that's what's necessary in this world in order to explain yourself, right? If you just tell someone, oh yeah, no, I don't like that anymore, they can't say anything to it, right? They can't just say anything like, but you liked it yesterday. And you can explain yourself, yeah, you know, I liked it yesterday, I don't like it today. And there's nothing someone can say to that, because it's the truth, it's your truth, right? It's what you are and who you are. And if they argue with you, well, they're arguing with the truth. They're arguing with reality. They're arguing with what is true for you, what is the truth for you right now. And that's like arguing with a brick wall. That's nonsense. That's not useful. And so I've actually really realized that if I know things about myself in a very true fashion, it makes my life so much easier, because I can move through the world in a very easy fashion, right? I can explain to people what I like very easily. I can do things that I like very easily. I can not do things that I like very easily, because I can tell people, no, I don't like to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't like it. I don't want to do it, right? Or I can do things that I love to do all the time, because I'm like, oh, I love to do that. It makes me happy. It makes me grow. It makes me glow. I want to do more of that, and then I can do it. I remember when I wasn't self-aware, when I had no idea of the fluctuations and the modulations inside of me, I would do things and not like them and not know that I didn't like them. I would just imagine that it was me being moody, or I would imagine that it was because I was PMSing, or it was because of some random situation in the world that was causing that. I did not realize that it was an internal fluctuation. I never attributed it to that. So I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I really do believe that self-awareness is a superpower. Awareness in general, of course, is a superpower as well, not just about yourself, but about the world in general, right? That's one of the reasons why I feel like people get hurt so often. They stumble and fall so often, or they stumble and fall in relationships so often. They cause friction in their relationships. They cause friction in their jobs, in their lives, because they're just so unaware of what's going on around them. They might say something really stupid to people around them, or idiotic to people around them, because they're not aware that this person doesn't like that or doesn't want that, right? They might end up blurting something out when the other person's obviously not interested in that. Or they might end up doing things with the other person, or wanting them to do things with the other person, or forcing them to do things that is not acceptable to the other person, because they're completely unaware. So in general, the whole idea is to become a little bit more aware of yourself as an individual, to become aware of you, of course. That's paramount, that is the key. But also to become more aware of the outside world, to become aware of what's going on around me, what's happening, where is everyone in vicinity, where are the people around me, right? And also to become aware of what's going on around in the atmosphere, what's going on around in the world, what's going on around my job, what are all the people doing in my job, to become aware of all that stuff, not as a way of gossiping, not as a way of becoming a knowledge geek, not as a way of accumulating knowledge, but as a way of becoming aware, so you can use that knowledge to your advantage. You can use that awareness to your advantage. You can use that awareness in order to make the right decisions. If you're aware of what's going on in your job, maybe I think it's time for me to leave this job, because it's not the right time for me to be here, or this company is going down, or it's not as popular anymore, and therefore I might lose my job soon. It's better to leave first, right? Or in a relationship, you might be aware of the other person and realize, I don't think this person likes it when I do this, or they love it when I do this. I should do more of that, right? These are very simple examples, and you're probably thinking, but it doesn't really matter. Yes, it does. Because every single bit of awareness, every little bit of awareness that you can grow in your life will increase the quality of your life, because you'll be able to make better decisions because of it. And a lot of you ask me questions about decision making all the time. The reason you're having problems with decision making is because you're completely unaware of what's going on around you and inside of you. If you had a little bit more idea of what was going on inside of you and outside of you, you wouldn't be having problems with decisions, right? You would know exactly what decision to make, because you'd be like, all right, yeah, this is the situation, this is what I like, this is what's going on, this is how I'm supposed to deal with it. That's it. That would be the end of that, right? But because we're unaware of what's going on inside of us, we're unaware of what's going on outside of us, we're completely unaware of everything, and we're just going through the world in a complete haze of unawareness. That's why we're like, all right, I have no idea what decision to make. What should I do? I have no idea. I'm just going to pick randomly and then go along with that. And then when we pick randomly and go along with that, we don't listen to our intuition even. So we pick randomly, and then that causes us strife, it causes friction, it causes us anxiety because it's not the right decision, and all of that, right? And so I hope this makes sense. I hope I was able to explain myself to you. It is a weird, abstract topic as always. If you have questions, please message me so I can do a follow-up video. Really, this topic I feel needs a lot of videos on it so I can really hone down on what I'm trying to say. But if you have specific questions about this, please let me know. And also let me know what you think about self-awareness and self-knowledge. What do you think? What kind of a role does it play in your life? Is it important to you? Is it not important to you? Are you self-aware? Are you not? Do you believe in self-knowledge? Do you not? Let me know. I'd love to hear from all of you. Again, thank you so much for being on my channel. I really appreciate your support. I'm so grateful for all of you, and I shall see you the next time around. Bye for now.